Hello students, good morning. Hope you and your family are fine and safe at home. I am your Shantri ma'am. I will be teaching class 4 social studies. Today we will do a revision of chapter 1, that is past and its sources. This chapter is in your unit test. But before starting with the chapter, let me tell you that today's video is connected to the lesson plan of 9th of September, which you will be able to view on the video gallery of the school website after 48 hours. Let us start with the chapter, past and its sources. Now, history. What is history? History is the study of the past, mainly of people and events of the past. Through history, we come to know about the food, clothes, weapons, tools and of the lives of the people in the past. Now, early human beings didn't know how to read and write, so they could not record the events of the time. As a result, the time period where the people didn't know how to read and write and could not record events of their time is known as prehistory. We come to know about this period from the cave paintings, tools and weapons that they used, and also from the fossils of animals. Now, let us now read why there is a need to study history. Why we need to study history? History connects the past and the present. It is important to study history because then we can have a good present and a better future. History also helps us to learn about different cultures. It also helps us to learn about our forefathers who lived in the past. Through history, we come to know about the kings and queens, about their great achievements, and also of the peoples of the past. It also shows us the changes that have taken place in the people as well as in the nation. History helps us to avoid mistakes. The bad choices made by the people in the past should teach us a lesson in the present. So, history is very important for a good present and a better future. Now, we will now come to know about the periods of history. History is divided into 3 periods. First is the ancient period, then is the middle period or the medieval period, and then is the modern period. First we will study about the ancient period. Ancient period covered the events from the 8th till the 8th century AD. In this period, we study about the Indus Valley civilization, the rise of Jainism and Buddhism, and also of the Mauryan dynasty. Next, we come to the medieval period. In medieval period, we learn about the events covering from 9th century to 17th century. This period tells us about the Mughal dynasty as well as the foreign rulers who entered India during that time. Then comes the modern period. Modern period covers all the events till the 18th century, and it talks about the British rule in India. So history is divided into three periods: ancient, medieval and modern. Next we come to know about the sources of history. The sources of history is divided into two parts. First is the literary sources and second is the archaeological sources. Now what are literary sources? Literary sources are collections of scholarly writings on a topic. With the literary sources is divided into three parts. Into three parts. One is the religious literature. Second is the secular literature. And third is the accounts of the foreigners. Literary sources are divided into three parts: religious literature, secular literature and accounts of the foreigners. Now, literary sources, however, deals with the religious writings like the epics, the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, then the Upanishads, the Vedas, as well as the religious writings of the Jains and the Buddhists, known as the Tripitakas and the Jatakas. They talk about the religious beliefs, social systems, customs and traditions of those times. Next we come to secular literature. Secular literature is non-religious. It talks about the law books of that time, that is the Dharma Sutras and the Smritis, then the writings of Patanjali and Panini. They wrote books on grammar, Sanskrit grammar, and then the dramas of Kalidasa and Vishakadatta. Those writings talk about the people and society of those times. Next we come on the accounts of the foreigners. From very ancient times, foreigners have been entering India and they have left valuable accounts of their travels and visits. The great ambassador Megasthenes lived in the court of Chandragupta Maurya and he wrote his famous book known as Indica. Then we come to Fahin, who however wrote valuable accounts of the Gupta Empire, and then Huen San, who gave us a detailed account of the rule of Harshavardhana. Next we come to archaeological sources. Archaeological sources are monuments, coins and inscriptions. Now, archaeology is the science and method to explore and understand the ancient ruins and remains. Now, what are monuments? Monuments are building and structure that is of great historical importance or interest. We learn about the famous monuments such as the Taj Mahal. Taj Mahal talks about the great Mughals. Then the Qutub Minar, they talk about the reign of the Delhi Sultanate and the caves of Ajanta and Ellora. Then we come to inscriptions. Inscriptions are the writings that are engraved on a stone surface or a metal. The study of inscription is known as epigraphy. Inscriptions supply valuable historical fact. They give us dates and events of kings and queens, as well as the religious and cultural practices of those times. The famous inscription is the Ashokan pillar. It tells us about the religious beliefs and the customs and administration of that time. The Allahabad pillar inscription contains valuable historical accounts which tell us about the political and administration of Samudragupta's empire. Then we come to coins. Coins, the study of coins is known as numismatics. Coins tell us about different facts. We come to know about various gold, silver coins. These tell us about the economic prosperity of the Gupta Empire. Next we come about the sea coins, where there are figures of gods and kings. These shows about the religious belief of the people. Then it also tells us about the economic life and trade and commerce activity of that time. Now coin molds of Kushan period were made of burnt clay. These coins tell us about the religious and legendary symbols which reflect the culture of that time. So these are the things that coins tell us about. So all these are sources of history. Now these sources of history are valuable and we must preserve these sources of history. So there are groups or organizations that are working to preserve these valuable sources of history. The two famous organizations that are working to preserve these valuable sources of history, one is the National Archives of India and second is the Archaeological Survey of India. These two organizations are working to preserve these valuable sources of history. Now, they are assisted by two groups of people. One is the historian and another is the archaeologist. Now, we will now learn who are historians and who are archaeologists. A historian is a person who studies and writes about the past. He, however, uses the sources of history to write about the past. And who are archaeologists? An archaeologist is a person who, however, deals with the field work. They deal with the digging and restoring artifacts and human-made objects from ancient ruins, etc. So these two groups of people are helping these two organizations in preserving the valuable sources of history. A historian studies history through documented evidences and an archaeologist studies history through physical remains. Then a historian studies history and archaeologist studies archaeology. Historian studies the sources of history, but an archaeologist always engages in field work and in digging and restoring the human artifacts and remains. So today we have come to know about what is history. The history are three periods of history: the ancient period, the medieval period, the modern period. Then the historical sources, which are divided into two parts: the literary sources and the archaeological sources. The literary sources are then divided into religious literature, secular literature and accounts of foreigners. Archaeological sources are divided into monuments, coins and inscriptions. These are the various kinds of archaeological sources. Then, in order to preserve these historical sources or these are valuable sources, two organizations are working. These two organizations are the National Archives of India and the Archaeological Survey of India, and they are assisted by two groups of people, that one is the historian and another is the archaeologist. So today we have learned and revised the whole chapter of history, that is past and its sources, the chapter 1 which is in your unit test. You will go through the chapter very well, and then you will do the worksheet and go through your video about today, so that you be able to work out the worksheets very easily. Till then, have a good day and thank you.